right, here we are, Promontory Point. It's in Utah. Can you believe it's in Utah? I can't believe it's in Utah. I've never been here, and I've lived in Utah my whole life, so I'm excited to be here. So, the Transcontinental Railroad. We're going to go over to where they dug in the golden spike. Pretty sweet that we can come here and look at this. It's really exciting. So, the Transcontinental Railroad was the joining of the Union Pacific Railroad and the Central Pacific Railroad. So, the Golden Spike was drove in on May. Okay, so May 10th, 1869. This is about right where it was, I think. Maybe. Let's walk over this way a little. This might be it over here. So, Transcontinental Railroad was the biggest and greatest industrial feat, technological feat of the 19th century. Okay. Sorry, I gotta have my notes. So plans for making this and then the financing plans started in 1862, and then they started building in 1865. Work along the railroad, laying down the tracks, was really hard, and actually thousands of men died. There was actually 20,000 men working on the railroad continuously to build this. It was rough work. A lot of the guys that worked on it were ruffians, rambunctious group of guys, so wherever they were camped that night, or camped when they were working on the railroad, was a really, well, they called them hell towns. They were really crazy. It brought in a lot of prostitutes, and a lot of the guys were always drunk at the towns, probably because they didn't really have anything else to do. They worked all day, and then they came out here, and it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. It's pretty crazy that it's just out here. So, it was kind of a race between the Central Pacific and the Union Pacific. And then this is just where they met up. And because it was a race, it was kind of shoddy work, and there was some parts that needed... There was some parts that needed some work, but they just opened up the railroad and started the trade, because that was one of the biggest things, was something to bring across trade goods. And there was also the settlers too. That made it, if you can imagine, so coming across all this land before on a wagon. Oh, looks like this is exactly where it was. So coming across this on a wagon versus, and it taking like 4 to 5 months of hard, arduous work, and then slimming that down to 4 or 5 days, that's crazy. And a ticket to get across from Omaha, Nebraska, across coast to Sacramento, was $35. That's insane. So you can just imagine the revolution this brought to Americans. Let's see if I covered all my stuff. Oh yeah, this brought in a new era, and this was called the greatest technological feat of the 19th century. Well, there it is, Transcontinental Railroad.